Vous pensez que ce n'est pas la taille qui compte? Ça tombe bien, Paul aussi. Paul?
The size really matter. If it didn't matter, we'd have a much harder time selling the premise of this film.
L'avant-première européenne d'Ant-Man, c'était mercredi à Londres, un événement XXL pour notre homme fourmi qui a eu la décence de reprendre sa taille humaine pour nous parler du film.
Are you ready to become the hero?
En développement depuis la fin des années 80, Ant-Man a mis du temps à voir le jour, beaucoup de temps. Alors quand le film a officiellement été relancé et que le casting a été dévoilé, les fans ont été plus ou moins surpris d'apprendre que c'est Paul Rudd et Michael Douglas qui tenaient les rôles principaux du film. Le premier est abonné au cinéma indépendant, tandis que le second se fait de plus en plus discret sur grand écran, mais vous allez voir que nos deux héros n'ont pas réfléchi bien longtemps avant de rejoindre le Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I was such a unexpected choice to play this kind of part, and I know many people felt that, me included, but that was part of what was so exciting about it. I was looking forward to trying something that I'd never done before. I'd never done any kind of motion capture stuff. Working in this genre was new.
This was a movie different than any movie I've done before. I've always wanted to do a special effects movie. I never was asked. So when they came to me and I read about who Hank Pym, my character, was, and the ability to get small, I loved it. My 14-year-old son beat me. He said, "You better do this movie. There's a whole new audience." So it's the opportunity at my age to try something different.
L'autre outsider, c'est le réalisateur Peyton Reed. Arrivé après l'éviction d'Edgar Wright, Reed a enfin rejoint les pénates de Marvel. Je dis enfin car il fut un temps pressenti pour les gardiens. Mais ce coup-ci, c'est la bonne, même s'il faut bien l'avouer, la pré-production a été quelque peu houleuse. Entre la réal de Peyton Reed et les scénarios successifs d'Edgar Wright, Joe Cornish, Paul Rudd et Adam McKay, Ant-Man est passé entre plusieurs mains, mais c'est peut-être cela qui fait son charme.
He had written drafts early on, and I came in and there were things I liked about the draft and things that I really wanted to change. I really had my own ideas about Ant-Man, really from being a kid, and when you read comics as a kid, you sort of have your own personal relationship with these characters. So I really wanted to enhance a lot of that for the movie.
Adam and I tried to kind of build upon that and create some new storylines and new characters and new set pieces, and we did a lot of work for sure, but it's easy to do the work when the foundation is already in place, and we knew it was a heist movie. That was what he wrote.
Marvel has a very good track record. This is the 12th movie. They've had 11 successes in a row. Everything tells us that this movie also is going to be very successful, very fresh. Much funnier, I think, than many of the Marvel movies, more of a family story. So I felt I was in good hands. They knew what they were doing, but I was glad I was not the producer.
Enfin, quoi qu'il en soit, vous noterez la manie qu'a Kevin Feige d'embaucher des réalisateurs qui n'ont jamais bossé sur des super productions. Et Peyton Reed, à qui l'on doit Yes Man et La Rupture, n'échappe pas à la règle.
I think that Kevin likes to hire directors who have a passion for these characters. And also, I have a comedy background, and I think comedy's always been very important in the Marvel movies. Some are more comedic than others, but even the more serious-minded Marvel movies always have, you know, comedy in them. But Ant-Man from the very beginning was always conceived as something that was going to be heavily comedic. And the fact that we have Paul Rudd playing Ant-Man helps out because he's one of the funniest people that there is.
One question. Is it too late to change the name?
Alors le film, savant dosage d'humour, d'action et d'émotion, intrigue principalement pour le fameux rétrécissement. Forcément, on n'avait pas vu ça depuis l'aventure intérieure où Chérie, j'ai rétréci les gosses, et je peux vous assurer qu'entre macrophotographie et motion capture, le résultat est très impressionnant. Je pense notamment à cette scène dans la douche absolument formidable. Comment ça fait 12 fois qu'on vous sort ce jeu de mots?
We used motion picture macrophotography, we used still macrophotography, we used motion control, which was putting Paul Rudd and Corey Stoll into these form-fitting suits, you know, and capturing them digitally. It was important that when they shrink down, it still feel like the same actor. That Ant-Man still moved like Paul Rudd and reacted the way Paul would. Sometimes in these movies, you sort of get to know the character, and then when they become the hero, maybe it's a stunt guy or something like that. That always bugged me in these movies. So I really wanted to make sure that it was Paul, that every time you're with Ant-Man, it's Paul, and every time you're with Yellow Jacket, it's Corey Stoll. And I think we pulled it off.
It was the first time I'd ever put on the suit that has like the reflective, like the ping pong balls, and was surrounded by cameras and did motion capture stuff. So I was, you know, on my own, and they'd say, okay, a foot is coming down, and you know, you gotta roll out of the way, and now I'm like, okay, and now run, because you're running with ants, and I'm just pretending to do all of this stuff, and I just kind of gave into it, knowing that the best people in the world that are going to be creating this world are working on the movie. It made it a lot more, I was reassured, knowing that such good visual effects artists were going to be making it look real.
Comme le disait Michael Douglas, Ant-Man se différencie un peu des autres Marvel. L'histoire se déroule à San Francisco, prend des allures de film de braquage et joue davantage la carte de l'intime, sans pour autant se délester de la traditionnelle ambition marvelienne. Mais on vous laisse en juger par vous-même dès mardi et on attend avec impatience vos commentaires. Aussi ingénieuse que les meilleurs détournements d'Ant-Man dont vous êtes les héros, voici les news en bref. Alors quelle sera la suite? Un Ant-Man 2 ou un préquel centré sur Hank Pym? Eh bien Peyton Reed, très prudent, préfère attendre les résultats au box-office avant de se prononcer. Mais Michael Douglas, lui, il s'y voit déjà.
If audiences respond to Ant-Man, it would be fantastic to tell more stories with these characters, because there's a lot by the time we get to the end of the movie. There are a lot of unanswered questions and things that you hope to see with these characters, and I'd love to be able to do it, whether it's a sequel or a prequel or whatever. We'd still have to figure that out.
In the opening sequence of Ant-Man, there's a flashback to me, like in 1989, and it's by computer graphics. It is fantastic. I said, "Wow, look at me with brown hair and not a wrinkle on my face." And now I'm thinking maybe let's go back to À la poursuite de Diamant Vert, you know, and we'll redo that. Let's go back and redo my whole career. I can just start over again, a whole new cycle. It's incredible what the possibilities are.
On en parlait tout à l'heure, la collaboration entre Edgar Wright et Marvel n'a pas marché pour divergences artistiques. Une histoire qui a fait couler beaucoup d'encre, mais qui n'est pourtant pas un cas isolé dans l'industrie du cinéma, et ce n'est pas Peyton Reed, un temps attaché à la réalisation des 4 Fantastiques, qui vous dira le contraire.
After my second movie, I went in and pitched Fantastic Four. It was at Fox at the time, and developed the movie for the better part of a year. And it became clear at that point that was not going to be able to make the movie I wanted to make at that studio at that time. So it's nice now, all these years later, to be able to finally do a superhero movie I've been waiting for some time.
Aujourd'hui, dans le courrier des Fanzoniens, on répond à tous ceux, et vous êtes nombreux, qui nous demandent des news de Civil War. Vous imaginez bien qu'on n'a pas pu s'empêcher d'interroger Paul Rudd. Mais aussi sympathique soit-il, l'homme fourmi n'a rien voulu lâcher sur le film, si ce n'est le bonheur qu'il a éprouvé sur le plateau, entouré des Avengers. Écoutez.
It was pretty amazing, actually. Because for the last couple of years, since I started Ant-Man, since I got this part, people have asked me what's it like to be part of the Marvel Universe. And it's been great, and I have certainly felt like I'm, you know, a member of the family now. I've gone to the Marvel offices, but I shot this movie. But we were shooting this movie, we were working in a bubble a little bit because none of the other people were around. And then I went to go shoot Civil War, and all of a sudden, I was surrounded by Avengers. And I turned into like a 10-year-old kid. I was seeing, not only am I seeing them, I'm in scenes with them, you know, talking with Captain America, and then, oh my gosh, and there's Iron Man, and you know, it made it real in a way that I didn't even feel shooting Ant-Man.
Vous venez de l'entendre, l'équipe du film est bien rodée et semble être au taquet sur Ant-Man. Mais qu'en est-il vraiment? Non, parce qu'on nous la fait pas à nous, hein. On sait très bien que la moitié d'entre eux n'avaient pas ouvert un comics avant d'arriver sur le film. Alors sont-ils aussi bons que ça? Eh bien, on a eu envie de vérifier. Vous allez voir, hein, on n'a pas été très méchants, c'est presque trop facile. Mais à votre avis, qui de Peyton Reed, Paul Rudd, Michael Douglas ou Michael Peña est-il le plus calé? Ou le plus mauvais? C'est selon. Eh bien, la réponse en image. Quant à nous, on se retrouve mercredi. D'ici là, rendez-vous dans les salles pour découvrir Ant-Man et promis, je ne vous dirai plus jamais que c'est formidable. Très bon week-end à tous.
A little game.
A little game.
Un poquito.
Okay, let's do it.
Allez, première question. En quelle année Ant-Man a-t-il fait sa première apparition dans les comics?
I'm gonna say 1962.
1962?
Bravo! Deuxième question. Comment s'appelle la femme de Hank Pym?
You mean Janet?
Yeah.
Yes, you see, claro.
Janet.
Dawn Pimp?
C'est Jeannette, on vient de te dire.
Oh, yeah.
Allez, troisième question. Qui a créé Ultron?
Well, I think that's my boss, my mentor,
Yeah.
Michael Douglas, playing the role of Hank Pym. Hank Pym creates Ultron.
Ultron? I'm not a comic book expert. I never read a comic book in my life before I did this movie.
Oh, no, I haven't seen Avengers 2. I'm gonna get everything wrong.
Who created Ultron? In the comic books, it was Henry Pym. In the movies, it was Tony Stark.
You're really good.
Allez, dernière question. Quel Avengers tue Scott Lang?
Really? There's an
Yeah.
Avenger that's killed Scott Lang? Captain America?
Which Avenger killed Scott Lang? Iron Man.
Wait a minute, hold on. Somebody kills me? Was it Howard the Duck?
What the hell I'm doing here?
Conclusion, mention bien pour Peyton Reed et Paul Rudd, rattrapage pour Michael Douglas.
I know nothing about the Marvel world.
Quant à Michael Peña, il est recalé. Bon allez, on lui laisse une dernière chance. Michael, quel est le cri de la fourmi?
Man, what's going on over here? What is this crap?
Elle gronde, Michael. La fourmi gronde.
I got everything wrong.
Bon, bah moi je ne vois qu'une seule solution. Hein. Rendez-vous mardi dans les salles pour réviser.
You're good. You're really good. Thank you very much for
Thank
your
you.
time.
Nice to
Bye. Je suis amoureuse.
Fanzone, c'est fini pour aujourd'hui, mais vous pouvez nous retrouver sur YouTube en vous abonnant à la chaîne Fanzone et à la chaîne Allo Ciné.